You're white, you're not rich, and you don't know anyone. You're not going to get into an Ivy League school as hard as you try.
What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing fantastic, and I hope you are ready to lose a few brain cells, because in today's video we'll be taking a look at DSP and how he blames his failures on being white. He says he wasn't able to get into a good school because he was white. He wasn't able to get a good internship, a good job because he was white, just taking no accountability and playing the race card for no reason. With that being said, let's jump straight into the video.
I was, high honors, advanced placement courses, tons of community service. Like I volunteered at a Jewish home. I did Habitat for Humanity. I was in the school musicals. I was in various clubs. A ton of shit. And everyone thought, and then no, didn't work out. I applied everywhere and they were all rejected me. Not on scores or anything like that. It was literally because, I hate to say it again, here we go again. I hate talking about this, but in America, the university system is a scam. All right, if you want to get into an Ivy League school, you need to know someone to get in. All right, you need to already have been grandfathered in because your family already went there, or you're in a rich family.
So now he's going to blame his rejection on not being from a rich family, not being from a well-known family, and that is a total narcissistic move. Narcissists can never agree or understand and accept that maybe they are the ones at fault, that maybe they have some shortcomings. But no, it always has to be someone else's fault, and this is clearly what we're seeing.
You know what I'm saying? Or you need to, it's like hitting the lottery almost. And in my case, my parents weren't rich. They could not foot the bill for the tuition. I would have to apply for financial aid. So they look at various criteria when they try to determine who gets in where. And I applied to a bunch of Ivy League schools and got rejected from every one. And when I went, I had a teacher at my high school that was kind of like my mentor. And I talked to him after the fact. And I was like, I'm really sad about this because I worked my ass off here in high school. And why do you think I didn't get in? He told me, don't be discouraged. It's not you. It's the system. You're white. You're not rich. And you don't know anyone. You're not going to get into an Ivy League school as hard as you try.
All right. Well, honestly, I don't think I've heard that one before. I mean, Phil is what, 45 or something? So we're talking in the early 2000s, maybe 1995, he was applying for college. Now, why would being white be a disadvantage? On this channel, we've seen the race card played in the most ridiculous situations, like when there was that Karen that was saying she's scared of the white cop, even though she almost ran him over. But this case is just so weird. Like, honestly, let me know what you think in the comments section. I've never heard this before. I didn't get into college because I am white. That is a new one for me.
Because there were kids who got into my Ivy League schools at my college, or my high school. They were minority sports players. They got in. That was it. No one else got into an Ivy League school. Nobody. So, that's what I mean. It's pretty messed up. That was basically the system back then. I don't know how it is today. That's how it was back then. It sucked. Work your ass off and literally get passed over because you are not a sports player and you're not a minority. And that's what happened. It was actually, people looking at the people. Okay, here's the graduating class, and the only kids that got into Ivy League schools were 2 athletes who were minorities. What a great system we have, right? It's pretty up. So yeah, it was terrible, but what are you gonna do? I worked my butt off and got nothing for it, really. That's my whole academic career is pretty much, That's why in college I didn't care anymore. When I went to college, I was like, why am I busting my ass when I got nothing out of it for high school? Why the hell would I care about it in college? And good thing I didn't. Because again, it was the same rigmarole in college. I was told, if you don't know someone who already works at the company you want to work at, if you can't afford to do a unpaid internship to get experience, you can never get hired.
Once again, talking out of his ass, being a complete loser mentality. I applied for countless jobs and I got accepted 90% of the time. If you apply for a job that you are qualified for and you have a good presentation, You know, whatever your race, you should be able to get the job. And when he's talking about internships, I was able to get a paid internship. You just have to hustle and knock at the right doors. But once again, we're dealing with someone that is extremely lazy. He expects everything to be so easy and wants to be spoon-fed, so he doesn't want to do the hard work and make the phone calls. And honestly, look where it got him. Now he's just e-bagging constantly while playing video games. A fully grown man, 45 years old, who is e-bagging on a daily basis.
Well, I couldn't. I had to work when I was in college to pay for college. So I couldn't do an unpaid internship, you know? It's not me trying to say bias. It's literally my life experience that I had growing up. The education system in America fails Americans. It is so focused on things that are not, so should be focused in an educational environment, but that's what it focuses on.
All right, so that was DSP doing his little rant and blaming all his failures on his skin color and economic status. We're gonna move on to the next topic of the video, which is actually him whining that he's not going to hit his members goal. Now, he has some type of, stupid event planned out if he gets a certain amount of members, and he's trying to guilt trip his audience by saying, you know what, we're really close, it's not gonna happen, you guys better become a member now. And I really dislike this type of guilt tripping that he is so familiar with. That's all he does on his channel. He plays a little bit and e-bags for hours. Anyways, let's watch this.
All month, I've been telling you about the members goal. 550 members. If we hit it, we're going to do a very special event, a retro throwback games challenge, where I'm going to play very challenging games from yesteryear, including Ninja Gaiden, the hardest game I've probably ever played, and I've never beaten it before. All right? But also classic Mega Man and even classic Street Fighter 2, challenging me to, you'll basically be able to do fun things on the fly, like name the challenge, pick the character I use in Street Fighter. See me try to beat arcade mode on the hardest difficulty without continuing. In Mega Man, beat this certain stage with only this certain weapon, or, try not to die a certain amount of times, etc. This is fun stuff. I don't do challenge runs. And to see me do it is something outside the comfort zone that's a lot different, right? People have expressed interest. They want to see this. Why? I did something like this 2 years ago with Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2, but because then Twitch basically mistreated me and kicked me out of the partner program for no legitimate reason, I never really went back to doing it. So now here we are years later. This is a very exciting thing to do, right?
So this is his strategy. He's talking about this awesome event he has planned. He's going to play retro games, which I don't even know if people give a shit about that. Quite honestly, they don't really care about his regular gameplay. What if he plays games that are, decades old? I don't think it's gonna drum up more interest, but whatever. He's trying to hype up with that type of content, but now he's gonna say that's gonna be really cool, but it might not happen because he's missing too many members. If you have something really cool that you planned for your audience, why not just do it? Who cares if you're missing 30 members? Like, what does it matter? Aren't you there to entertain your audience? So why would you give up on this plan just because you're missing a few bucks? It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, but we now are running out of time. No exaggeration. We have today and tomorrow, and that's it. If we don't hit this members goal by the end of tomorrow, we're likely not hitting it. And here's why. There was a member bomb around the 22nd of January. That member bomb will expire, and that was around 60 to 70 members. All right? We already just dipped again another 15 members last night. And this is the problem this month is we get members, and then literally it just stops and freezes, and then a bunch of memberships expire, and it dips again. And then we get some members, and then it dips again. We haven't moved at all. We've been consistently around this kind of 450 to 460 mark, and we're not really making any headway. So yeah, this is pretty serious because this is the first time really in months that it looks like we're probably not going to hit it. Now, I don't want to be a pessimist. I'm not going to be a pessimist. Maybe we'll have a rallying today and tomorrow, and maybe some people will become members, renew memberships, or gift memberships to the channel. Gifting memberships is a stupendous way to help out DSP Gaming and help not only the business, but to help your fellow viewer who likes the content on this channel. All right, overnight, sadly, we got a bunch of regulars here who lost their memberships. All right, so please consider it. It's an easy way, under $5, to support this channel on a monthly basis and also get some cool things out of it. Tons of features, a big event coming up, all right? So if we don't hit it by tomorrow, it looks like we're probably not going to hit it, because if you're going to dip another 70, now, realistically, do you think we're going to get 150 to 200 members by the end of the month, another week? I don't think so.
Like I said before, if you have this cool event planned, why not give it to your audience anyways? And maybe by that gesture, people will be tempted to become members. On my other channel, I do live streams. I've never asked for any memberships. I just provide quality content, and the memberships and the support comes by itself, because people are happy to be here. They're happy to support the quality content. If he wants more members, more super chats, more supports, he needs to increase the quality of his content. And that's the problem with Phil. He doesn't realize that the problem is not the audience, it's him. They don't want to open up their wallet for you because you are boring. Phil really needs to look within himself and change some things if he wants to keep doing this, because this cannot go on forever. Eventually, people will be so tired, and the few whales that actually do support him will go somewhere else, because this constant e-begging just really doesn't look good. Now, for the last topic, here's a clip of someone asking him why doesn't he react to the detractor channels. A detractor channel or detractor content is a video like this, just basically anyone who has anything negative to say about Phil. And his response is interesting, to say the least.
I received a $2 tip. I want to give you a different perspective on React content. Eventually, all the documentaries get boring. Like, how many basic YouTube videos are there for you to watch? What's the long-term plan for the channel? I think you're shooting yourself in the foot for not reacting to detractor. So here's really, you want me to react to detractor content? No. Well, okay, here's the difference. You have to understand something here, all right? There's a difference between putting out intelligent content and stupidity. The detractor content is made for idiots. It literally is made for stupid people who all they care about is drama. That's why they watch it, you understand? Most people who watch that content realize it's probably not 100% truthful. They don't care. All they care about is that I look like an asshole.
So you heard it right out of Phil's mouth. He thinks that you, the viewer that is watching this video, is an idiot because all you care about is drama. And I think that obviously that's complete bullshit. I've given honest, good advice in this video. If he would care to watch it and actually use some of the advice, maybe he could change his ways. This guy is just so far gone in his e-begging lifestyle that he doesn't understand that the average folks have a problem with that. Most people don't enjoy watching a grown man cry about how little money he made on tips during a video game live stream. You know, it's not the hardest job in the world, and if you can't do it anymore, people aren't giving you enough money, go find something else to do with your life. That way we won't have to hear you cry about it on a daily basis.
Because they're not good people. They're scumbags who watch that shit. Oh, how can I make someone look awful or laugh at someone looking awful today? Is it true? I don't care. As long as I laugh and someone looks like shit, that's what I'm watching it for. That's what that shit is. There's a difference between here's someone actually covering facts, a situation that happened, that's documented, that is corroborated, that everyone knows is in the public eye of truth, versus here's a bunch of slander, defamation, conspiracy theories, rumors, hearsay, shit that absolutely no one on this planet could possibly corroborate at all, but we just pretend it's real and assume it is. Now, look, this person's a scumbag. Why on earth? Why on earth would you give those people the time of day if you're an intelligent human? All you do when you go give those people attention is you give them more attention. You understand? Already, these people get too much attention from morons. All right? The best course of action when you've got people who are going to constantly try to bring you down, are constantly going to try to say awful things about you. All right? The best course of action is to silently press forward positively and ignore the white noise nonsense. That is the successful course of action. Do not ever give it any serious thought. Do not address it, because the moment you do, you're at least giving some modicum, some little bit of credence to what they're saying. Because why else are you addressing it, right?
So here he almost has a valid point. He says completely ignore it and it's going to go away. Don't give them any credence. And sure, I understand what he's saying, but that would work if it was completely false allegations. Now, for example, when you take my video and most of the videos out there, they're calling him out on very real allegations. Just the thing that he's doing, constantly e-bagging, just refusing to take any accountability, now playing the race card. These are real things. They did happen. They're not false allegations. If someone was making up all kinds of nonsense, completely false allegations, then sure, maybe it would be better to ignore it. But in this case, it would be probably better to engage with the quote-unquote detractors. I think a little drama has never hurt anybody, especially for a guy like DSP that is on a huge decline. So he could actually harness that power and maybe make a name for himself if he went with a little bit of a tit for tat with the detractors, as he likes to call them. But then again, he's a grown man, that's his choice. He will continue to e-beg for money instead, because in his mind, that is a better way to go about things. Ad revenue, sponsorship, those are really evil things, but e-begging on a daily basis, that's what he approves of. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast recording it. Laughing at Phil is always a lot of fun for me. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and I'll see you on the next one.